Hey friends, it's Chelsea and Snowball's here too. I just wanted to share a cool glimpse into the joys of unschooling and how it's actually really difficult to even try to capture it because it's such a day-to-day journey. So one thing that I've been having the kids do lately is when they come to me during the day and I'm usually in the middle of something and they say, I want to read this book. I say, okay, go put it on our tray on the coffee table, and then when I sit down and I have time to read, we will know the books that you guys have wanted to read today and we'll be able to draw from those. So we were sitting in the living room one day and Naomi was working on some artwork as she usually is independently doing. Her drawing skills have been increasing slowly but surely, really just very organically. It's been fun to watch, especially as someone who drew a lot growing up. I really haven't been coaching her, and it's neat just to see how her observation skills are translating into her drawing skills. But she is such a storyteller, and she generally narrates a lot, but she also loves to write. And so she had her pen and she was adding some writing around her artwork. So she had written a couple of letters that she does know how to print on her own, and as she often does when she's doing something like this, she asked me if she had spelled anything. I told her no, but something you could do right now if you want to spell some real words is you could look at the cover of one of these books and you can try and copy the letters. If you do them in the order that they're written in on the cover of this book, you will write the same words that are on this book cover. So there were a couple letters that she wasn't super comfortable with printing on her own, and I was able to help her out with those. But she ended up writing the whole title of this book that we had out to read on her own, and just that little something gave her this like swell of confidence, which was so beautiful. And then unfortunately they're closed down now, but this wonderful company that made these little chalkboards, tracing boards, we were able to get some of their inventory before they closed, and so I sent Naomi over after that to grab a couple of our letter tracing boards, and I said, why don't you just find the letters that you weren't very comfortable doing that Mom did for you, and why don't you trace those and see how it feels in your hand to like make an S, make an R. And so she did that as long as she was interested in it. To be honest, I don't think it was very long. She maybe did it once. But then we've tried a number of times over the last like 6 months for her to write her name. It's not anything that I've been putting pressure on. It's just sort of like this is an interesting idea. As soon as you show interest in it, I'm sure you'll be able to do it. And she's always kind of hit a wall with one or the other of the letters. I think the M is the one that always gets her stunted. But only like a day or two after this whole little like writing exercise that we went through, she was doing a drawing for a friend, and she said, I want to write my name at the top so that she knows who this came from. And I said, sure. And so she started writing out the letters that she knew. And then she got to the M, and I again utilized the cover of a book to point out, like, remember, this is what an M looks like. And she just did it all on her own. First time ever. And she was so proud, and it was just really sweet just seeing that confidence build. And her skills just like multiply with things like this, little experiments that end up blooming into a full-fledged confidence in a skill that was shaky at best before, but then all of a sudden you get over that kind of fear that you're gonna mess up. I feel like when kids get enough time to like kind of check things out from around the different angles and try their hand at it and have it not work out the way that they want it to, but there's no pressure of succeed or fail. It's really just experimenting. It's really just, I know that you're growing every time that you're trying, and whatever you're interested in trying right now, I know is going to build on itself in the long run. And so anyways, we just, things like that kept flowing kind of throughout the afternoon, and I took some footage of it then, and I went back and got a little bit of footage to be able to insert into this video for you guys of some of those steps that she took. But that's just some of like a very organic process that came up just one afternoon. You know, we didn't set out with any sort of lesson plan for that day, and yet we ended up with like this awesome lesson, you know. So as we like continue really leaning into moments like that with both of the kids, and I feel like a lot of the times they're like interwoven and kind of layered on top of each other. One kid is figuring something out at the same time as another kid is like trying their hand at something, and the problem solving that happens between siblings, and life skills overlapping with like, you know, reading skills and just all sorts of things like that. It's one of just my joys in unschooling is you never know what you're going to be learning in a given day, but whatever it is, you're going to be fully in it and fully there. So yeah, I hope that's encouraging to you guys. Hope it gives you some perspective on maybe how your kids are figuring things out, or even just you as a mom that even before the school years, you are teaching your kids so much just by being present with them as they're growing and trying their hand at things. So bless you guys.